It doesn't begin with fire, it begins with silence. Empty shopping malls, quiet factories, job listings that vanish overnight. The signals are subtle at first: slower growth, tighter credit, a sudden spike in layoffs from companies you thought were untouchable. And then one morning you wake up and the headlines scream what economists have been whispering for months: recession. But this time, it's not like before. This time, the world is still recovering from the last crisis. The pandemic may have faded, but the wounds it left, shattered supply chains, trillions in printed currency, geopolitical strain, have not. The inflation that followed was global, the rate hikes were aggressive, and now, after years of wild stimulus, tech booms, crypto crashes, and volatile markets, the world stands at the edge of another economic cliff. The question isn't whether a recession is coming, it's how deep, how long, and how damaging it will be. To understand what's about to happen, we have to look at how we got here. After COVID-19 brought the global economy to a standstill in 2020, governments had only one tool left: money printing. Trillions of dollars, euros, rupees, and yuan flooded the world. Interest rates were slashed to zero. Consumers were handed stimulus checks. Businesses got bailouts. And for a moment, it worked. Markets rebounded. Tech companies soared. Home prices exploded. Crypto hit all-time highs. But beneath the surface, the damage was growing. Too much money chasing too few goods created inflation not seen in over 40 years. Central banks, once hesitant, had no choice but to act. The U.S. Federal Reserve led the charge, raising interest rates from near narrow to over 5% in record time. Other nations followed. It was the fastest tightening cycle in decades. And like always, there's a delay. Rate hikes don't kill the economy overnight. They work like poison, slow and silent, infecting credit markets, killing off weak businesses, and sapping consumer demand, until one day the entire system feels heavy. That's where we are now. Companies are already laying off workers. Tech giants, which hired like crazy during the pandemic, are downsizing. Venture capital has dried up. Banks are pulling back on lending. Consumer spending is slowing. Credit card debt is at an all-time high. And default rates are quietly rising. And yet, the stock market is rising. Why? Because it always does. Until it doesn't. Markets are not mirrors of the real economy. They are forward-looking machines powered by hope, speculation, and institutional positioning. And right now, they are pricing in a soft landing. The belief that central banks can cool inflation without crashing the economy. But history tells a different story. Every time the Fed has raised rates this aggressively, a recession has followed. Every single time. And this time, the margin for error is razor thin. Globally, the signs are just as troubling. In China, a massive real estate bubble is finally deflating. Youth unemployment is at a record high, exports are down, consumer confidence is shattered. In Germany, the economy has already dipped into technical recession. The UK is struggling with stagflation, slow growth, and rising prices at the same time. And developing countries, crushed by debt and currency volatility, are bracing for another wave of financial crisis. It's a perfect storm. High inflation, rising rates, slowing growth, and geopolitical chaos. Wars in Ukraine and the Middle East continue to strain energy markets and trade. Supply chains are still recovering, global trust is fracturing, and the move toward deglobalization, countries pulling back, focusing inward, is accelerating. In the short term, this means uncertainty. In the long term, it may mean a complete restructuring of how the global economy works. But let's talk about the most dangerous part of a recession, not the numbers, but the psychology. Recessions are self-fulfilling. When people think things will get worse, they spend less, invest less, and save more. That slows the economy further. Businesses see lower demand, they cut costs, that means layoffs, which then leads to even less spending. Confidence collapses before the data does. That's why central banks are obsessed with soft landings. They don't just want to fix inflation, they want to avoid panic. But with every rate hike, the risk grows. And for the average person, the recession won't look like a Wall Street headline. It'll look like a hiring freeze, a denied mortgage, a maxed out credit card, a second job, a missed rent payment. It won't be a crash, it'll be a slow bleed. So what happens next? There are three main possibilities. Scenario 1, the soft landing. Inflation cools without triggering mass unemployment. The Fed begins cutting rates in 2025. Housing stabilizes. Markets remain volatile but avoid a crash. Recession is mild and short. This is what Wall Street is praying for. Scenario 2, the hard landing. Tight policy overshoots, unemployment spikes, consumers pull back, housing prices fall, the stock market corrects sharply, credit markets freeze. Recession lasts 12-18 months and recovery is slow. This is what history says is more likely. Scenario 3, the crash. A major bank fails, a sovereign debt default, war spreads. A black swan event triggers global panic. Markets collapse, central banks are caught flat-footed, a deep global recession begins, echoing 2008. This is the worst case, and the most feared. So what can you do? Start by protecting yourself. Build cash reserves. Pay down high-interest debt. Avoid speculative investments you don't understand. If you're an investor, diversify. Recessions are when wealth changes hands, not just when it's lost. The right decisions now could define your future. For businesses, it's time to cut waste. Focus on profitability. Fortify your core. Recessions punish the bloated and reward the lean. And if you're in a position to hire or invest, remember, some of the best companies in the world were born during downturns. And for policymakers, the lesson is simple. Don't wait, don't deny, don't repeat the past. Recessions are part of the economic cycle, but when layered with geopolitical instability, climate events, and technological disruption, they become more than just a downturn. They become inflection points, moments when systems break, when power shifts, when history changes. We may be entering one of those moments now. If this breakdown gave you clarity, insight, or just a sense of what's coming, don't let it stop here. Like this post to support real, research-based content that cuts through the noise. Subscribe for more deep dives into the global economy, financial markets, and the hidden stories behind the headlines. Comment below, are you preparing for a recession? What signs are you seeing around you? Because the recession may not be televised, but it will be felt, and those who understand it early may just be the ones who survive it best.